Okay, so if you've been following along up to this stage, we've got our block diagram for what we want to make. Here I've got the tennis counter example. So this actually is the block diagram that I used for version 1, which I'm now working on version 2. So I've got a new block diagram. So I'm going to remove some of the details. So things that have changed between versions 1 and 2. The battery is no longer going to be AA, it's going to be a coin cell, so that's the 3-volt lithium batteries, which means I'm still going to need a boost converter, but instead of 3.3 volts, I'm going to do 1.8 volts. MCU, still going to be an STM32, but the screen, instead of an e-ink, I've found an LCD. And I've taken away the blinky LED this time. This is just a personal choice. I may regret that if I ever need it for debugging, but we will find out in the future. So really not too much changing in terms of the block diagram, just some of the details really. So I'm kind of going through this just so I can show you how I'm prototyping this. So on my in my prototyping, I've actually this section here, so basically the battery and the boost converter, I've not done on the breadboard, but it's going to be in the PCB that I make. So that's just an FYI. So in terms of how to breadboard this, so picking components, the STM32, I happen to have an STM32F3 Discovery kit, so it's one of these, not too expensive. I had that lying around, really it could be any STM32 development kit, but this one, yeah, it's just what I happen to have. And then the LCD, there's the particular one I found, Adafruit makes one. It's not cheap, but that's actually most of the cost comes from the cost of the LCD itself, which is a little bit nuts, to be honest. But there you go. So I've got one of those as well. And when I put it all on a breadboard, this is what it looks like. So you can see LCD here. The breadboard has my 6 buttons and the STM32 F3 Discovery, you can see written there. This is the underneath just because of the way the DuPont connectors connect. The way they've done it doesn't let you do it on the top very easily. And that all works actually. Because this is version 2 though, I've got a bit of a head start where it's version 2, so I'm able to use the same software, the same firmware as in version 1, which makes my life a lot easier. But still, the LCD is new, so I had to write new software for that to get that running, make sure that things are all working there. So I'll give a little bit more detail though. So the LCD, this connection here is an SPI, and that, so what that has is a chip select pin, it's a master out, slave in from the STM32 to the screen, and there's also a serial clock pin, as well as a voltage in and a ground. So those are the pins that I needed for the screen. Pretty much the same as what I needed for the e-ink in version 1, but they're all in the yeah, I was able to get that working on the breadboard. That is pretty much it. So now that I've got version 2 working, although one thing to note is on the breadboard, this is still running on 3.3 volts. So when I come to do the PCB, I'll be dealing with the minor differences here. But other than that, yeah, it's ready to go to the PCB stage. So I'll cover that in a future one.